Good afternoon. Tonight's episode is going to seem a little bit awkward, a little bit mystic. You see, what happened was we were trying to make gummies, and we tried to film this episode several times. Well, the good ones that actually worked, I didn't film. At the end of this evening's episode, you can see, yeah. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Well, this evening, you can actually take that in a million ways. And before we start this evening, I just want to give a huge shout out to Justin, who happened to step by earlier today. Fan of the show, friend of mine, friend of Pam's, Pam. He helped us out big time. And I just want everybody to know, it's you guys like that are willing to help out, that watch the show. I mean, even if you're not willing to do that, just watching the show and hanging out with us every week. And, when I get the chance to film, you guys mean a lot to the show and to me. And Pam especially, you guys should hear her sometimes when we're hanging out. She appreciates you guys too. So, with that in mind, please allow me to introduce you to this evening's Killer Kitchen. Originally, tonight's episode of Monsters, incidentally, I don't know if I said it last night, I had a little bit of a buzz. But tonight's episode originally aired December 3rd, 1988. Now here we are, and it's 2024 and February 3rd. Kind of cool.
Hey, Vincent, I really thank you for coming on the show tonight, and so do all the Muppet Monsters.
Well, thank you, Kermit. I never met a monster I didn't like.
I can believe it. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Well, in all the scary movies you've done through the years, well, you're always turning into a vampire. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? That is so scary.
Well, Kermit, if you will forgive the immodesty, that is perhaps the epitome of the actor's craft. You see, it takes tremendous concentration, years of physical and emotional training, and enormous mental exertion. Do you understand?
Oh, sure.
Oh, well, some people learn faster than others.
Good evening, and welcome to another eerie episode of Killer Kitchen. I am your host, Vincent Victorian, here to guide you through the eerie shadows of an ordinary world where darkness conceals the extraordinary. We invite you to enter a realm where boundaries between the known and the mysterious blur. Tonight, prepare for a chilling journey as monsters lurk under your bed and in the shadows, waiting to unveil the terror that chills you to your very bone. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Dale, who finds the private sanctuary of Fulton Pierce, a famous dead horror actor, along the lines of the late, great Vincent Price, Alfred Hitchcock, Bela Lugosi, and so many others. But you see, there's a twist in this episode. What kind of twist? Well, you'll just have to stick around and watch. But in the meantime, why don't we watch a couple commercials? And I'm going to catch up on a little more reading. Ooh, The Raven.
Honey, it's family hour. There must be something on.
Oh, wow! Candy critters!
Oh!
Oh, great. It's Monsters, our favorite show.
It's starting.
Remember when you were just a little kid and your mommy used to warn you not to sit too close to the TV set? Well, you know something, she was fucking right.
If those are just mice in your basement, why won't the cat go down there? Monsters. No, scary fun for your home VCR.
Let Freddy Krueger turn your dreams into his nightmares.
I had too much to dream last night. I had too much to dream. Freddy's Nightmare.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
And welcome back. Now, I just want to say that before we start tonight's episode, I really want to point out how cool these opening credits are. And it's kind of interesting that the whole opening is based on this family of monsters watching this show called Monsters. And then, like, the family never once appears in any of the episodes. And I think they're really the coolest part of the show. I don't know why they never made a Monsters episode about the Monsters town and Monsters family. But, you know, hey, it's the new millennium, 24 years in, And they just can't help but ruin everything from back in my day. So, before the woke liberals take control of this show and fuck this show up like they do everything else, let's enjoy this one. And we're going to start. If you guys are wondering what that little girl, when she says candied critters, now, I have watched that opening probably a dozen times in the last couple days. And I paused it and kind of stared at the picture. And it looks like what she's eating is a giant lizard gummy. Now, we don't have the lizard molds, but we did do something. See, I happen to have a couple skull molds, which you guys have seen me use on many occasions here. Believe it or not, a gift from one of our fans out there in YouTube land. So, hey man, thank you again. Those silicone molds really do work well. Now you might be wondering, okay, you're making gummies, so why would you have sugar? Why would you have a flat plate? Where's your mold? Well, to answer that would take way too long. And you're not here to listen to me anyway, you're here to watch a show. But we can't start the show yet. See, we've got to start this process now. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by taking 2 tablespoons, actually it's going to be 2.5 tablespoons of unflavored gelatin. Fuck it, there's not much left. We're just going to throw this whole pack in. It's a little more, it's a little more. Just make it a little extra gummy. So, now what we got to do is we're going to take just your average Jell-O. Jello. And thank God Bill Cosby's not here. He'd probably masturbate into the shit. Kind of makes you think, really. I mean, they got this old dude who's now convicted of several rapes and all this other crazy, nasty shit. Kind of like Vince fucking McMahon. Then again, if you listen to Vince back in the 80s, you could hear that pervert side of him coming out all the time. And I mean, really, I can actually believe he's guilty only on the count. Look at how many times he's pretended to have China raped or somebody else raped. He thinks rape is a game. He thinks it's fun. It's fucking sick. And people who get off on... You know what? That's why I quit watching wrestling in 1993. Quite frankly, if I want to watch 5 guys beat up on one, Hulk Hogan in the NWO, I could walk down the fucking street. There's gangbangers all over this country. They're more than happy to beat me up. So, yeah, I can handle fucking watching gangbangers and 5 guys on one. Sure, happens every fucking day. When I want to watch wrestling, I want to see 2 guys competing in the ring. Back in the 50s, it was real. The 60s, it was real. The 70s and early 80s, wrestling was not the entertainment industry that it became. And you know what? As much as I hated it when they got rid of the F, get the F out. Yeah, Vince McMahon should have gotten the F out. Anyway, I actually understand it now. Because aside from the World Wildlife Federation, who really had no problem with the WWF using that tagline, up until the 90s, all of a sudden, it became a big fucking problem, the late 90s. But it's kind of ironic because it's really not even wrestling. I can't even call it, I don't even know how they can call it World Wrestling Entertainment. It's not wrestling. I mean, quite frankly, you'd be better off watching Genital Hospital. The scissor, though. Fuck. I tell you what, when that shit with Vince McMahon broke, that fucked me up, dude. I mean, I believe it. I always kind of suspected. Do you know how fucked up that is? I mean, really fucked up. And how many people did he get away with doing that to? Because if he did it to one, and he did it to the extreme that I've read and what I've heard, then he's developed a taste. Your first time out, you wouldn't do something like that. It's like a serial killer. His first time out, that first kill is going to be very messy. That first kill will be done very sloppy. That first kill could be the one kill that would get him caught. By the second, the third, The fourth, you start to develop a taste. You start to develop an urge, an inborn need to dominate and possess. But that kind of shit doesn't just happen on your first time out, or your second, or even your third. He developed a taste for that kind of sickness. Put it this way, it's the kind of sickness that you will never see here on Killer Kitchen. And trust me, we can get pretty goddamn deviant in this kitchen. We can get pretty fucking sick here in this kitchen. But there are some boundaries not even I will cross. And when it comes to rape, elderly abuse, or hurting kids, that's not even fucking entertainment. It's just sick. And it's fucking, basically it's a form of pornography for the sick individuals in society. Anyway, now what we're going to do is before we add water, we're going to take a half a cup of cold water. We're going to take and we're going to mix all of this together. Take a few minutes, but done right and done correctly, you'll get a really nice mix out of all of it. All right, something about like that. Now, half a cup of cold water. But before I add the water, see, I want to make this extra red. We're going to take 5 drops of red food coloring right into the water. Fuck it, go for 6. Ah, fuck it, let's go for 10. Make this bloody as fuck. Now we got to get this ready right away. We're going to add a little bit of a shine. I don't know why I pulled this out. I decided I'm not going to use the black and orange. We are going to use some of this though. I think maybe 2 tablespoons should be enough. Oh hell, I think 1. Maybe a little bit left. There. That should be more than enough. Well, if you get a look, that's our consistency without the water. Set this here. Now, we're going to add the water, and as we're adding the water, we're going to start to mix it. Something about like this. Oh man, it's got a really good fucking strawberry smell on it too. Now what you want to do is, what you can do in many cases is you can get extracts and even flavorings, because they do make special flavorings, oil flavors that you can put into here that will enhance the taste. But I will tell you, as I've learned, because we did a couple practice trials before we filmed. Our first concoction was actually a lemon Jello with some 24 karat edible gold mixed into the batch, as well as lemon extract and a few drops of yellow food coloring to give it that extra bright yellow. At the end of tonight's presentation, I will show you how that and our Jolly Rancher gummies turned out. Both were interesting experiments, tasted pretty goddamn good, but I will tell you, if you get the Jolly Rancher, be aware, because it's like Jolly Rancher on fucking steroids when you eat these. It was like, whoa, fucking, oh my god. Can't really have more than 1 or 2 at a time. And you're talking to a guy who sits there and eats a 5-pound bag in a fucking afternoon. Especially when I've had enough weed. Now what we're going to do, we're going to have this set up for a couple of minutes. When we come back on our next break, we're going to put this in the microwave, heat it up for just a few seconds, then we're going to get it into our pan here, And then we're going to put it right here into the fridge, and we're going to let it sit. Now, it should sit for 2 hours. So, tonight you're just going to have to put your suspension of disbelief into effect here. You're going to have to bear with me and pretend that we waited 2 hours, because I really just didn't have a movie planned. I didn't want to do a movie this week. I've done movies like the last couple weeks, and I wanted tonight's presentation to be just a little simple, have some fun, and hang out. So, I'm going to let this set up, and I'm going to let you get to Monsters: The Legacy. Originally aired December 3rd, 1988. Airing this year, February 3rd, 2024.
Okay. Where were we? October 25th. I moved in here about a week ago. Until now, I've had no real assurance this was his house. All I've had to go on were some vague old letters and the real estate agent's educated guess. But this afternoon, buried in a dank closet under years of forgotten junk, I found the proof I needed. It's like someone put the box there for me to find. I am now convinced that I've found his private Hollywood retreat. The sanctuary where he secretly worked on his most memorable characters. I'm about to embark on a journey which will lead me to the source of his genius. A journey into the mind of the great, the immortal.
Ah, Christine, my angel.
Dale. This neighborhood gives me the creeps.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I can't believe you'd rather live in a dump like this instead of...
Instead of your place.
It could be our place.
It would always be your place. Besides, what better place than this to write my book? I mean, can't you feel it? His spirit is everywhere in this house.
Ghosts make lousy cooks, Dale. And they're even worse in bed. Is a ghost gonna be able to compete with that?
I almost forgot. Oh, wait till you see it.
So I came all the way over here for this. Can't believe I let them talk me into wearing this eyeshadow.
Look. F. Pierce, Debbie. Fulton Pierce. It proves this house was owned by Fulton Pierce.
Pierce. Damn it, Dale, that's all you ever talk about anymore.
Debbie, we are talking Hollywood mythology here. One of the greatest film actors who ever lived. Fulton Pierce.
Just a name, a phantom from the past.
But that's the point. No one really knows who he was. Oh, don't you see? We're talking Hollywood's most enduring legend. It's like, what really happened to Marilyn Monroe? Or what caused James Dean's crash? Who was the real Fulton Pierce?
I gotta go.
What?
There's a reception down at the Biltmore for the new marketing director of New York Woman. My agent wants me to make an appearance.
I thought maybe you'd spend the night.
Are you kidding? Not in this house. I feel like there's someone always staring at us.
Debbie, please, I need you. You're my inspiration.
Honey, with my inspiration, you can't even finish your PhD thesis. What makes you think you're going to write a book?
This book is my future, Deborah. Our future. And Fulton Pierce is going to help me write it.
And why are they here? You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop. Our owner.
We have no other choice.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale.
They Live. Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
With quality pre-owned cars from A to X, it's the Automobile Exchange in Oxnard.
The next minute is dedicated to those who march to the beat of a different drum.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, when you're strange.
The Twilight Zone, Monday through Thursday nights at 11.
Tommy G meets the Monster Mellows in Count Chocula cereal.
I created something big.
Big marshmallows!
Huge marshmallows. So monstrously huge, they're Monster Mellows in Count Chocula cereal.
The marshmallowy part of this complete breakfast.
They're so huge, they're...
Monster Mellows. Enjoy.
I will!
Count Chocula and Monster Mellows. Good in a big way.
As we start this next piece, what we need to do, you can do this two ways. Now, you can do it on a burner, low heat. We use an electric burner here in the kitchen, and truthfully, electric cooking just sucks. It doesn't work. Why do you think the liberals want to fucking make everything electric? They know this shit don't work, but that we are talking about the same group of people who go on CNN and tell you to eat cicadas. You know, speaking of monsters, you know why I'm not afraid of the monsters in any of these shows or any of these movies? You know why Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, even the real ones, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, you know why they don't scare me? Because I've seen what real fear is. I've seen what real terror looks like. I've looked into the eyes of true madness. I do live in California, after all. You know madness when you see it, and it usually starts with a fucking D. Democrat. Now, we are going to put this in here, and I'm going to press start. I'm not going to do the full 30 seconds. But while that's doing its thing, what we want to do is we're going to spray this down. See, I'm not going to do this with an actual mold. Not this time. I attempted to film when I put these in the molds the first couple times around, but the truth is the trial runs didn't turn out exactly the way I'd hoped. So we're going to set these aside. We're going to take simple cookie cutters. We're going to fill this up with a gelatin mix. I guess we did do the full 30 seconds. Shit. I think I made it too hot. That's not good. It's definitely dissolved now. It's okay. I think it'll still work. Get a look there. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour all of this right into here. Now, technically for a tray this size, you would want to do a double batch. But that's okay. You see, like this, once it sets up, we're going to get some really cool cuts. But in the meantime, we're going to take and we're going to place this into the refrigerator. Maybe. Hopefully. I think. Shit, I gotta fight with this fridge. Let's get back to the show.
Where did you find this?
In that little cottage I rented up in Beechwood Canyon.
I was just 16 and precious baby's breath when I met him. My friends thought I was loony. Well, he was over twice my age. But damn, he made the world magical.
Guess the neighborhood's changed a lot since...
Oh. Kiddo, you can't begin to know.
Ms. Montgomery, every serious fan knows about his films, his characters. Nowadays, a lot of them could even duplicate his makeup techniques.
A lot of people drive cars who don't know how they work.
Exactly. How did he hide himself? I don't mean how he made himself look like the role. On the outside, I want to know how he became the role. On the inside.
If I knew that kiddo, I'd know his secret. All I can tell you is, kiddo, he'd spend hour after hour in that little cabin, staring at himself in the mirror, talking himself into Quasimodo, Dracula.
Vampire. Costello. Why did he keep putting off that role until so late in his career?
Made him uneasy. He was hard to be with. Something about that role, that character. It was
Seductive.
evil. Let me tell you something, kiddo. You're moving into dangerous territory. Fulton Pierce could do things no actor before or since could do. And it took its toll. He died a young man.
I suppose that's the price one pays for genius.
And what are you willing to pay for a mere glimpse of it?
Oh, good! I just can't get started. All my ideas sound contrived, superficial. I mean, how do you describe magic? That's what it was. A reservoir of magic he could tap into whenever he needed to become someone else. Some power beyond him. Here. In this house. It happened here. I know it. I can feel it. Somehow the creative force took over. He called upon it. And it came. Debbie.
Well, at least you remember my name.
I wasn't expecting to see you.
Don't let your enthusiasm get to me.
I didn't mean that.
What about tonight's dinner?
I forgot. Debbie. You gotta understand, I've been so wrapped up with the Pierce book right now, I just can't think of anything else.
Well, I see you're getting a lot done.
I'm, still in the research phase.
Dale, we can't go on like this. You are becoming obsessed with this stupid book you're supposedly writing. I mean, who cares?
I'm not trying to write a bestseller, damn it. I'm trying to get respect. Respect. And when I get finished...
If you get finished. Dale, you've got to make up your mind.
What?
Fulton Pierce or me?
No. What did you say just before that?
Make up your mind.
Make up your mind. That's it. Make up your mind. That's the key. Somehow he learned how to make up his mind.
What are you talking about?
Make up your mind. You said make up your mind.
I mean it, too.
Yes. I know you do. And now I can. Don't you see? You solved my problem. You brought me the inspiration I said you would.
I don't understand.
You don't have to. All you have to know is that I love you very much.
Dale, all I ever wanted was to be with you. I've been so lonely.
Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna finish finish this book. And we're gonna be together.
Dale. Dale?
This is how you do it.
Oh my God, Dale. What's going on? What's happening to you?
Hey, you want a taste of our new album, Dr. Feelgood, before it's out in the stores?
Yeah!
Enter the crew contest.
Yeah!
If you have a touch-tone phone, call us on the Motley Crue hotline. 1-900-932-8-CREW.
Yeah!
You could win a personal autograph picture from us or a personal phone call to your home.
Yeah!
While supporting the Make a Difference Foundation. That's 1-900-932-8-CREW.
Yeah!
I know men. I know what a real man wants. I know your desires. I know your secrets. I know your innermost fantasies. I know you want to call me. Just do it. Call me now and let me make you feel like a real man.
Call toll-free, adults only.
976 Evil, a terrifying new movie from Robert Englund. Now, horror has a brand new number. 976 Evil, rated R.
Starts Friday, March 24th at a theater near you.
You guys miss the old cigarette commercials and the old ads? Fred Flintstone smoking a Winston. Rod Serling with the Chesterfields. Well, Winston and Chesterfield might have been a good brand back in the day. But this isn't your granddaddy's time, and this ain't your daddy's time. This is our time, right here, right now. And if you want a cigarette with a nice smooth flavor, and all the chemical additives without all the guilt, try Montego. It's interesting as they talk about Fulton and the magic that we do get from some of our childhood heroes. But as we discussed with Vince McMahon earlier, not that he was ever a hero of mine, but I will tell you in the 80s, as an announcer, I did like him and I had great respect. Sometimes meeting your heroes can be the worst thing to ever happen. Especially when the screen goes dark and you start to understand that your heroes are normal people who put their pants on one leg at a time, just like the rest of us. It took me 43 years before I finally understood that. And I will tell you, upon understanding and learning that fact, it takes a whole nother turn. But did you notice in that last scene, make up your mind, make up, just written over and over. Very reminiscent of a movie that we all know and many people did enjoy. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. And what's funny is All Work and No Play was only an American take. Stanley Kubrick went the extra mile in The Shining and actually did different variations of that typed work depending on the country where it was going to be released, using different sayings that were relevant to the country. In America, All Work and No Play, that was a big one here. But it's interesting that they're doing a show about taking genius and trying to make it your own. As they took a genius piece of work and tried to make it their own. Now, these are still setting up, but these are the ones that we got done earlier from our first couple takes. Now, this one, if you look, you can see the sparkles in there. That's all the gold flakes. Now this one turned out more of a gummy and actually kind of feels more like a Jell-O. But why don't we give it a try? It's really sour. Oh, let's go to the show. Oh.
How you feeling?
Well, I don't exactly feel like singing a little song.
Do you remember anything?
Remember? Remember what?
Dale, you gotta leave this house. You gotta come home with me. Forget about this book.
Forget about it? Are you out of your mind? I know how he did it. I know how he became one of the greatest actors of all time. It's gonna make me famous. No more pompous department heads hiding behind their tenure. No more lectures to sniveling little rich kids who think Nightmare on Elm Street is a great film. No more. This is Debbie Curzon's boyfriend. Let's see. We were discussing the soul of an actor. Yeah, that's right, okay. Is it only the trained professional who can shed his personality in favor for another's? Pierce certainly understood the emotional chaos involved. And he was able to master it. Master it from the inside out. What if we all have that capability within us? What if we all have the power to mutate from one character to another in a lifetime of roles? What if we all have that power hidden inside? Would we have the will to control it? What if I...
Dale? Dale, open up, it's me! Dale, let me in!
I may be stranded, but at least I got my Fruity Pebbles. Fruity! A ghost! Only a Fruity Pebbles can set my spirit free. My Fruity Pebbles? Okay. Frighteningly fruity flavors. Thanks, Fred. Bonnie! Boo. Yeah! Bon appetit.
Post Fruity Pebbles cereal, part of this complete breakfast.
Tommy G meets the Monster Mellows in Count Chocula cereal.
I created something big.
Big marshmallows!
Huge marshmallows. So monstrously huge, they're Monster Mellows in Count Chocula cereal.
The marshmallowy part of this complete breakfast.
They're so huge, they're...
Monster Mellows. Enjoy.
I will!
Count Chocula and Monster Mellows. Good in a big way.
Friday, May 13th. It's Jason versus Tina.
Don't go in there!
The match made in hell.
There goes the neighborhood.
Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, rated R. Starts Friday, May 13th at a theater near you.
Now, before I leave you this evening, I would like merely to state that this was a show of pure genius. This episode in particular has always remained my personal favorite episode of Monsters ever. And after watching it, I haven't seen this episode in probably 30 years or more. But I do remember when it aired. And I remember every time we got the reruns when they re-showed it, I would be pissed if I missed the opening. it's relatively interesting to sit back now as an adult, because I was a teenager when I saw it the last time. It's rather scary to see how much these shows have changed, and yet they're still the exact same show that they were. Nothing really changed, but we change as we grow. We change as the world gets their claws sunk into us. So tonight, I leave you with one final thought. When you're watching TV, when you're watching movies, understand these people are actors, but they are nonetheless people. And one thing I've learned in the last 40-some years, people are the most dangerous animal in all the world. Thank you for joining us this evening, right here on Killer Kitchen. Join us next time for another tale from the bizarre, deepest, darkest realms, hiding within the confines of the oven. You know, they say the quickest way to a man's heart is with a meat cleaver. And the quickest way to reach us here at Killer Kitchen is to call 453-562-1388. And for those of you out there who are looking and you're wondering, you know, how do I get myself my own Killer Kitchen merch? How do I get my hands on some Angry 80s merch? Well, you know, I just happen to have a site, make it totally easy, and we got all kinds of shit. You can go to www.tpublic.com/user/Killer Kitchen. We're going to put the link in the descriptions right below, and that should solve all your Killer Kitchen needs. Now, for those of you out there who know that we're struggling, Biden's economy, just kind of how it is. But if you guys happen to have a couple extra dollars and you want to donate it here to the Killer Kitchen to help keep the show growing, well, you can do that right now through paypal.me/Killer Kitchen. Anybody who donates anything over $5, we're going to give you a huge shout out on the air on the next Killer Kitchen. So we totally appreciate you guys. And in the meantime, rather than take up any more of your time, I'd say it's time to get back to the movie. You're watching Killer Kitchen, only on the Angry 80s Guy.
Madness, mayhem, and that's just the fun part. Welcome to the crypt. You're in good company. Now here's a shocker from the man who gave you 48 hours. Revolting, but so current. Need a little holiday feel? Shall I scare up the man who framed Roger Rabbit?
The killer is here!
You asked for it. You got it. Screaming for more? I have this little number from Superman's Supermaster.
They sought to kill you.
Doc, no! I wouldn't count on it, but you can count on my directors. 3 Tales from the Crypt, June 10th on HBO. It's a night to dismember.
Warning, strong content. Parental discretion advised.
There's someone out there. No one knows his name.
No one knows his face.
Oh, no.
But now, the most terrifying man in the city
Officer! Officer! Oh, thank God it's you.
carries a badge.
The head was unstable and there was a deceleration injury. As in your old hanging.
You really think a cop did this? Why not?
You automatically assume that it was a police officer instead of some lunatic dressed up like a cop.
Fight squad.
He'll kill again. He enjoys killing.
He strikes without cause, without mercy.
You may be getting information from inside the department.
That means he is one of us.
You see a cop, you cross to the other side of the street.
You're not gonna get me.
Everybody who wants to shoot a cop nowadays has got one hell of an excuse.
Since when is my personal life any of your business?
Since your wife was found dead in a motel room.
You gotta be wrong.
You want to see the pretty picture?
Keep your hands where I can see them. Hold on, I didn't do any of this.
When a cop turns killer, you have the right to remain silent forever. Maniac Cop.
The NBC television schedule is brought to you especially recorded for rebroadcast in this time zone on KNBC Channel 4.
Good afternoon. Now, earlier in our episode this evening, we hesitated and ended up, I fell asleep, believe it or not. So what we're going to do, I'm going to step over here and get some light on the situation. And we are going to cut these. And I just want to say right now that to everybody out there, you guys rock. And Justin, I want to give you a huge shout out, man. Like, I know I already did this evening, but I really want you to know how cool, like, I really appreciate your friendship and your viewership, man. Your contributions mean a lot here in the kitchen. Got us a coffin shape on this big one. And you'll see, like, what I did. I think I fucked up a little bit with this take when I added that sugar snot. Now, try a bat. This one's metal, not plastic, so it should work better. A ghost? And no, not Beetlejuice, because he is not the ghost with the most. The ghost with the most is Casper. Now, if you'll come up this way, I will show you guys how we are going to take these out. Okay. So, we have learned, don't add the sugar, you'll fuck it up. But what we're going to do is next week, not only are we going to make our normal meal, but we are going to come back to these gummies and we are going to show you how we're going to do these. And at some point, try to figure out how to show you the right way. So, our third attempt, they said third time's the charm. Well, fuck them. Well, let's go for the fourth. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you right here next week on Killer Kitchen. Hey, you know what's funny? I was thinking about it last night. I went off on this whole thing, and then I woke up this morning, and the first thing on my news thing was fucking shit about Vince McMahon. That motherfucker's in all kinds of shit.
These strange proceedings to an end, let's have a special thanks to our guest star, Mr. Vincent Price. Hey, Vincent, you were really super tonight. Hey, let's give him another hand.
Oh, no, Kermit. Let me give you one.
Oh, will you cut that out? Oh, we'll see you all next time on The Muppet Show.